Now guys, in the past, I've talked about a couple of different guitar brands that are actually the in-house brands of established music store chains. One of them being the Harley Benton brand of guitars from the Thomann stores over in Europe. Those guitars are fantastic. And also I've talked about the Mitchell brand of guitars, which is an in-house brand from Guitar Center, and that brand is still sold today. But about 10 years ago, there was another brand also from Guitar Center called Laguna guitars. Now this is a brand that eventually disappeared, and I was always curious as to why, because I thought the guitars were actually pretty good. Now the one I'm going to look at today is the Laguna LE400Q. As you can see, it's a super strat archtop style guitar with a really nice quilt maple veneer on it. Now these guitars originally sold for around $400 or $500, and these were some of the more high-end guitars that Laguna offered. If we look at the specs, it's really pretty nice. I already mentioned the quilt maple veneer top. It's a basswood body, maple neck, bolt-on neck there. It's a rosewood fretboard with 24 extra jumbo frets. These are really nice big frets on this guitar. The pickups are Laguna branded pickups. These are actually double wax potted. They sound great. Same thing goes with the bridge. It's a Laguna branded licensed Floyd Rose. Now for the controls, we've got a 3-way toggle switch, a single volume, and a single tone. The body has a really nice abalone binding all the way around it, and the guitar has a really nice, heavyweight, really solid feel to it. Now, for the review, I've spent some time playing this guitar, and honestly, if you can find one of these for maybe around $300 on the used market, which seems to be about the price that they typically go for, I highly recommend you get one because it is a great playing and sounding guitar. So I'll go ahead and give you some sound samples, but then I want to talk a little bit about why I think Laguna guitars ultimately failed. Alright guys, let's check it out. Alright guys, great sounding guitar, really great playing guitar. Extra jumbo frets, really nice fretwork on this guitar, and it's a nice C-shaped neck. Everything about it I really like. It's a very shred-friendly guitar. It's got a really, I believe it's about a 16-inch fretboard radius, so very, very flat, very friendly for doing a lot of bends and a lot of fast playing. Now when it comes to the Laguna brand of guitars, like I said at the beginning of the video, this was the in-house brand of Guitar Center. So they definitely, they already had a way to get the guitars and promote them to people. But here's where I think they went wrong. From the beginning, these were marketed as beginner's guitars. And even though the guitars were made to a really high standard, they never had like a really super high-end model, like a made in USA, $2,000-3,000 model that was able to give the brand any prestige. When the Laguna guitars were first launched, they were all $200, $300, $400. So I think a lot of players just initially dismissed the brand as like, oh, those are just beginner guitars. It's not a real serious brand. If you want a real guitar, you should go with something else. Now, eventually, they did get Greg Howe to endorse the brand, and he even had a really cool signature model called the LE924. Of course, he's a fantastic player and did some great work with the guitar. But he didn't come in until a little bit later, after the initial launch of the guitars, and by then the reputation for being cheap beginners guitars was already there. If you look at some of the other brands of guitars, when they launch a new model of guitar, they always start with the most expensive model first. Like a signature guitar is a great example. They'll do the made in USA like $4,000 version first. They see what the response is, and then later on they'll add on the more budget-friendly version after they've established the reputation of quality to begin with. Now, the other reason I think that the guitars didn't really work out in the long run was the styling, and it's not a bad looking guitar. In fact, I think it looks great, especially with this extra binding around here. But it's a pretty standard body style. It's a type of guitar that a lot of other companies have already made. So there's really not too much that stands out about it in terms of the looks or the design of it. So guys, those I think were the two big reasons why Laguna guitars ultimately failed. One was the designs just weren't that unique, and the other one was that right from the beginning they established themselves as a lower-end guitar brand. Now, all that being said, today, if you are looking for a great playing guitar on the used market, you can pick one of these up for usually around $300. And at $500, it's maybe, you can think twice about it, but at $300, it's a no-brainer. Alright, but I want to hear from you guys. Did you ever get a chance to play one of these Laguna guitars? And also, what are some other failed brands of guitars that we can only find now on the used market? I'd love to hear from you. Alright guys, that's it for today. Now I'm going to look around when I upload this video and see if I can find a few listings on eBay for some used Laguna guitars if you guys are interested in getting one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.